tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Finally, Cena turns heel. John, don't bury the lead. What's our top story from WWE Elimination Chamber 2025?
Dom, we don't ever bury the lead in maybe the easiest lead ever since we started this show. We have John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber. All hokey dory, all thumbs up, everyone, do your vitamins and say your prayers kind of esque stuff with Cena. So Cena wins it. Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring. They shake hands. Cena's like, we're going to wrestle in the WrestleMania. Rock comes down. A big series of talking points. And eventually, John Cena turns on Cody Rhodes, kicks him in the crotch, and that's that. John Cena has turned heel. You are not hearing this incorrectly. You're not dreaming. This actually happened. Dom, what do you think about John Cena turning heel tonight at the Elimination Chamber?
I was wondering when in the show they were going to do this. I'm glad they saved it to the end because of how it turned out. I thought this was excellent.
Oh, amazing.
I liked every part of this except for whoever that guy was in the ring with The Rock, Travis Scott. I don't know who that is. I don't know why he's there. It's not like they needed the celebrity power. They had two movie stars in the ring.
Much bigger stars.
Right. I mean, The Rock and John Cena are much bigger stars, even in pop culture, than this Travis Scott person, or at least The Rock is. But he was there. He played a role at the end, helping to hold down Cody Rhodes. This was fantastic. Cody Rhodes comes into the ring to congratulate John Cena. The Rock's music interrupts their feel-good movement, as you said. The Rock walks very slowly to the ring with Travis Scott by his side. The Rock asks for his answer. Cody says, I want it all, Rock, but my soul no longer belongs to me. I gave my soul to this ring and these people a long time ago. And in the background, you could see John Cena cheering and nodding his head, going, yeah, yeah. And then Cody says, hey, Rock, go F yourself. Except, he said it for real. The crowd in Toronto popped. John Cena's jumping around like a little kid. They're all clapping. You could even hear Cena saying, "Kid's got some balls," So they're doing it up all nice. Cody and Cena hug in the ring. And then the thing that's so underrated about the WWE happens. They had a camera person positioned right over The Rock's shoulder a minute before they needed him. Like just right there. And they zoom in on John Cena hugging Cody Rhodes, but looking up at The Rock. Cena's facial expression changes. We're the only ones who can see it at home. The Rock gives the cutthroat motion. Cena breaks the hug with Cody, kicks him in the crotch, as you said, and then the beat down is on. Cena pounds him after the low blow, hits him with what Michael Cole called brass knuckles. It was a Rolex.
Yeah.
And then hit him twice with the title belt. Cody's busted open over his left eye. Then they hold Cody down while The Rock whips him with a belt that says Cody's soul. And the heels leave the ring with a bloody Cody Rhodes lying on his stomach, looking around, wondering what happened. I liked everything that happened here. Finally, John Cena turns heel. WWE Universe, I'm not a part of the WWE Universe from long ago, but tell us in the chat, tell us in the comments, have you been waiting for this for 20 years? Are you surprised they finally pulled the trigger now during what should be a feel-good retirement tour? Do you think it makes it better or makes it worse? As someone who was not a longtime WWE fan, I think this is fantastic that Cena's turning heel during his feel-good retirement tour. If this was the plan all along, then I'm so glad they saved it for right now.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic. John, you said you had a lot of stuff that wasn't in your notes that you were just going to riff on. The floor is yours, my friend.
Dom, I couldn't have said everything better myself. Thanks to that recap there. Things I do want to point out. Maybe it was so great, and we'll get into how great it was. To be a little pedantic here, and to the other guy, Travis Scott, he didn't need to be there for this iconic moment. This is an iconic moment in pro wrestling with John Cena, the biggest star in pro wrestling for the last 15, 20 years. You know, maybe not up there with Andre or the Hulk, but he's certainly in that top 10 category, right? You've got The Rock out there, who's a little bit older than him, a little bit more senior, who doesn't wrestle anymore. And you have Cody, who's the new blood, the modern guy. And you're seeing, the different generations of guys here. You just didn't need Travis Scott there. But so that's the only critique. Outside of that, I thought it was fantastic. Did you see this coming?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I thought a Cody heel turn was in the running.
Yes. One thing that was a little odd was the way I think great was the way Cena was like, "Hey man, we're gonna wrestle at WrestleMania, right? Yeah," and he's kind of like that, and that isn't typically how he acts. So I thought that Cody was gonna turn, and Cena was hamming it up because Cody would turn, and then Cody says the line, and it's pretty predictable, where he kind of is sitting there and he's thinking about it. He said, "I gave my soul." And then they're like, "Oh, to who'd you give your to the fans?" It's like, okay,
Sure.
yeah. But then for that look, that little smirk on Cena's face as he's hugging him, and then Rock going like this, you're like, "Oh, he's gonna do it!" Bam, low blow. A little bit, shades of NWO formation. That level of like, what the hell, real shocker. Really a real shocker at this point in his career. Goodbye tours, retirement tour, got like 10 matches in him, 5 matches in him, these different stops. He's going to be going all over the world as a heel. Right?
I think it's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And his willingness to pull it off, he seems like he's all in on this. John Cena, I mean.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Question for you.
Sure.
Do you think that this is no longer a retirement tour, where before he had so many stops before he planned to retire, and now it's saying, wait, I'm not retiring. I'm going to be the champ. I'm going to be the big heel champ.
Because it's March 1st, I think this could still be his last year and it could be a retirement tour. He may say to people, it may be the kind of thing where I'm going to win this title and I'm going to retire as a champion and be the greatest of all time. But it's March, it's not October. So I think there's still plenty of time for Cena's retirement tour to play out. And for it to end in 2025 as he planned. They never announced all his dates anyway, which is a good thing. They've been announcing them maybe month by month. They announced that he has a bunch of European dates coming up in March.
Yeah.
And that's as far as they've gone. So they've been very good about not trying to schedule everything and play the whole storyline out publicly. They're letting it happen. They're letting it unfold, which is really good. It's good television.
Yes.
Right. It's fantastic television. You were mentioning, biggest stars in the world. The Rock is the biggest star in the world. He's got more followers across social media, they were saying, than any other male figure in the world.
He is biggest.
So he's the biggest star in the world. John Cena is the guy that WWE needed to become a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
You want to talk about GOATs. You could say that Cena's the GOAT only because he made it work under the extra eyeballs and scrutiny of this company trying to go public and become a legitimate corporation. WWE went corporate and succeeded, and it turned into TKO Holdings because John Cena was able to be that guy. And I know some of the fans don't like that. It's
Yeah.
not their kind of wrestling, but you cannot deny that John Cena is the guy that WWE needed to become what WWE is now. So these are the biggest stars that WWE really has ever had.
Yeah.
John Cena turned them into a worldwide publicly traded company, a big player in corporations, and The Rock is everywhere.
Yeah. That's interesting that you would say that, and that's a really good point because you think about it, if like I don't know, Mick Foley is their champ and he's bleeding all over the place and he's taking shots to the head and they're doing all that's why they changed it to PG, not because they're like, man, we really like PG. It's like, no, we need to get the shareholders to be happy with us.
And now they found a good balance. They don't do a lot of the bleeding anymore. They don't do crazy stuff with weapons. Although tonight may have been an exception. We'll talk about that. But
Mhm.
they give you the little trinket like Cody flat out using the F word, dropping the F bomb
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
So that worked. And so I think they found a happy medium as to what they're supposed to be, but they never get they don't become a publicly traded company if Stone Cold Steve Austin is drinking beers and telling everybody to go to hell or whatever. Or
yeah.
they can't do that with the Attitude Era. John Cena made them a publicly traded company.
Yeah. When was it not Terry Funk? It was Jake the Snake when he said, making fun of him for being a drunk.
Yes.
And he said, you think John 316. Well, it's us is Austin 316. Like, I'm sure
I
that
just kicked your ass. I
That
just whooped your ass.
that probably wouldn't have flown.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
they were.
you could do that later. You can't create a publicly traded company like that. And I don't think people realize how difficult it was for the WWE to do that changeover of their product when they wanted to change their company. And I don't think people appreciate how John Cena may have been the only guy who was capable of delivering that. I mean, the only other guy I can think of is if they had somehow poached Sting and made him the guy. But that was not going to happen because of how things went down with WWE and WCW. I hope that people appreciate how unique John Cena was in the last 15 years of pro wrestling, 15 to 20 years, 10 to 20 years, and what his performing ability enabled the WWE to do from a company standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's great. I'm so